I'm Jay Horton. I make movies that make money. This is how. This is a difficult video for me to record. I've been a huge cheerleader for filmmakers making more money on Amazon Prime using Prime Video Direct for quite a while now. But it's with a heavy heart that I say this. While it is possible to make real money off Amazon Prime as a filmmaker, it's highly unlikely. And what I'm about to say runs contrary to some stuff that I've said on this channel before, but like a wise man once said, today's truth is tomorrow's not so much. My documentary, Don't Call Me Bigfoot, yes, that's the same one that I bragged about last week that was streaming over 2 million minutes a week. Well, it streamed almost 10 million minutes for the month of April. That's around 160,000 hours. Wrap your head around that for 1 second. 160,000 hours in 1 month for a small indie documentary with no name talent. It has a high retention rate and is currently rated at 3.3 out of 5 stars on Amazon. So this highly rated indie movie with over 160 hours streamed for the month was just given a CER of 42%, which means that it'll make the lowest rate possible, which is 1 cent an hour. That's 3 times less than it would have been just a few months earlier before the latest rate drop. And it's 4 times less than it would have been if the CER had only been increased by, say, 8%. And that would have paid out at over $5,000. And let's try not to even think about the fact that it would have been around $18,000 2 years ago when the rate was around 15 cents an hour. In less than 2 years, a moderately well-performing project went from being able to earn close to $20,000 a month down to only $1,300 a month. And I have about 20 other movies on there. And I've looked at metrics from distributors, and I can tell you with almost 100% certainty that whatever the f they're basing CER on is not consistent across titles. Just in my own library, I have 5 other movies with CERs of 65% or higher with lower star ratings, lower viewing numbers, and lower retention rates than Don't Call Me Bigfoot. The only major difference that I can see is Don't Call Me Bigfoot streamed a ton more hours, yet it's being paid a ton less money. What the f? Honestly, there's no figuring it out. Amazon is consciously choking independent filmmakers out. They're just doing what they and other large corporations often do. They solicit a product or a service from a creator to sell on their platform, and they start out paying a fair rate for it. Then it reaches a certain saturation point, and they fleece the f out of the creators. Think about this for a minute. My movie brought in almost 200,000 unique viewers to Amazon in the last 5 weeks alone. And it is not being paid a fair rate. A common response to this, even amongst other filmmakers, is it's not their fault. They opened the platform up to everyone, and so many people uploaded complete crap that eventually customers started complaining and Amazon had to start paying less. And I don't completely disagree with this train of thought. There is a lot of bad content up there, shit that has no business being up there in the first place. But that said, there are so many good, and I mean legitimately good indie movies up there that are being completely choked out by Amazon's pay metrics. If bad content was truly the problem, they could have started curating more a long time ago. But they didn't, and they still haven't done that, at least not in a direct way. Instead, they do this passive-aggressive CER ranking that has no concrete metrics, and they start purging movies with no concrete metrics. Another argument that is made is they don't have to allow people to upload there at all. It's their world, and they can do whatever they want. And I suppose that's true. And all the way up to this latest report, I supported that train of thought. When they first started dropping rates, I said, I understand. When they first started purging content, I was like, okay. And to be 100% honest, I have yet to meet one single filmmaker that has had a movie purged where I couldn't at least understand why from Amazon's point of view, including 2 of my own. When they first announced that they were dropping to 1 cent an hour for films with CERs of under 50%, I was like, well, we'll just have to work harder to make sure our CERs stay higher. I mean, I had a lot of titles that were well over 50%. I can repeat that. I have almost always taken Amazon's side in this debate in the past. But now I see it for what it is. And not to sound like hippy-dippy, but it's corporate greed. Whatever secret algorithm they have in place to figure out CER is set to work against us. They don't want to pay fair rates for content. And I'm not saying that Don't Call Me Bigfoot is the second coming. It's not. It is a super indie, very low budget Bigfoot documentary. But it's professionally made and many, many people have watched and enjoyed it. Over 200,000 in the last 5 weeks. Think about that. Over 200,000 people have put that movie on in the last 5 weeks, and I'm making 1 cent an hour for it. And I've seen better movies than mine that have CERs that are lower than 40%. Some of them are legitimately great movies, comparable to studio output, and they too are making 1 cent an hour. So let's please let go of the only shitty movies are making the 1 cent an hour narrative, because it's not true. Now, the last argument I hear when I bring this up is, well, if so many people are watching your movie, just switch to TVOD. Rental pays a lot more anyway. It doesn't, okay? The sad truth is, even at 1 cent an hour, a movie like Don't Call Me Bigfoot is still going to do better on SVOD or AVOD than it will on TVOD. Not enough people will take a chance on an indie movie like that when they have to pay for the rental or purchase. It's just how it is. You lose out on all of that discoverability. And it's that discoverability factor that is essential for small indie movies. So what do? I don't know that this will do anything, but I'm calling for every filmmaker that uploads content through Prime Video Direct to message support. Message support about the pay rate and CER. Tell them how unfair it is. Tell them how bad this hurts you. Give them personal examples. But be polite, be professional, just present your case. Have friends or family message Amazon and express their feelings about Amazon's pay rates for filmmakers. And more importantly, support other filmmakers. Next time you see someone post a link to their movie from Amazon, whether you know them or not, whether you like them or not, click on it, give it a watch, give it a fair review. Or if you don't want to do that, just share their post. Or go to IMDb and give them a rating there, or share that. The writing is on the wall. If you're an indie filmmaker who's been making ends meet off of Amazon Prime alone, your days are numbered. More than ever before, it has become crucial that we diversify our income streams from our films and find other platforms that will hopefully treat us better than Amazon. So look, this is extremely disappointing, but let me assure you that it is not over for indie film or for making more money with indie film. Things are changing rapidly. We just have to adjust and move forward. If you want to learn how to make more money with your indie film, subscribe now. And if you'd like even more tips, check out my Patreon. But whatever you do, keep making movies.